everyone said, oh, what about the C70 Mark II? The C400 is a C70 Mark II. Hey everybody, how's it going? I figured today, since we have the new announcement of the C400, I would revisit the conversation I've had many times on my C70. So I'm gonna rig this up today for a simple talking head YouTube video and have a conversation with you all. All right, today's set, let's jump into the video. I know we were all hoping for the C70 Mark II or the R5 Mark II, but I believe the C400, which was announced yesterday from Canon, is in fact the C70 Mark II. I had a running wish list over the past 2 years of what I would love to see in a successor to the C70, and basically everything was met with the announcement of the C400. So today we're gonna be talking about the C70, why I'm putting that aside as my B camera, and investing in the C400. But first, before we do, let's look at some footage the C70 got the other day on a commercial project for a local restaurant here in the Richmond, Virginia area. Take a look. Project was called Naked Roll, sponsored by a restaurant called Lucky AF. If you're in the Richmond area in Scott's Addition, Lucky AF is a great restaurant, great ambiance, great food, great sushi, great drinks. I was stoked when they had me on that project. So the C70 has been my workhorse of a camera for video production over the past 2 years. If you're unfamiliar with the kind of work I do, I mainly do weddings, music videos, short format content such as social media ads, website landing videos. I do YouTube intro videos for clients. I do events. I have also worked on larger sets for documentaries. I also work as a gaffer because I have a lot of lights and I love lights. I'm not a Canon fanboy. In fact, I have over the past couple of months seriously considered switching to Sony, utilizing the FX6 and FX3 as A and B camera. I was really holding out for the announcement of a new camera from Canon, and I was hoping it would be the C70 Mark II. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I would love to have in a C70 Mark II. So after using this C70 for 2 years now, it's a great camera, a great entry-level camera, but in the industry, it's highly regarded as more of a B camera. Everyone has great things to say about the C70, but at the end of the day, it's an entry-level cinema camera. It's really designed for those of us that were used to shooting video content on our DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, giving us a package, a cinema package for a really good price point. When I bought it, the C70 was a little over $5,000, I believe. It was a little bit of a learning curve working with just a cinema camera as opposed to a hybrid camera such as an R5. There were some things immediately I didn't like about the camera. There were things I loved about the camera. The things I loved about the camera, which will be sustained in the C400, are the built-in ND filters, the built-in XLR ports, functionality of the customizable buttons, things of that nature. Some things I did not like about the C70 was the crop factor. This fact that it's a Super 35 sensor, which provided some limitations in the lenses I used. It provided a crop factor in some cases. It didn't offer 6K, and we saw cameras in its class, such as the Komodo X and the Blackmagic camera offering 6K. Even though it wasn't something I'll be typically delivering for my clients, I'm usually always delivering 4K or even 1080 for clients. It's nice to have in terms of the longevity of your camera body as the industry progresses, and also when I'm utilizing post-production cropping in features where I want to punch in, I don't lose as much quality. So it's a nice feature to have on other cameras, the 6K. Another thing I didn't like about the C70 was the form factor. It's not the typical box you see on cinema cameras. It's got more of a DSLR feel. But one of the main things I didn't like about it, and a lot of people complained about as well, was the LCD screen on the back. It was really flimsy. It got in the way, especially when you rigged it up. It just wasn't really practical. C400 remedies all of that with a customizable LCD screen that you can mount much like the Sony FX6. I did not like the media type on the C70, the fact that it only used SD cards. I like and I prefer much more the robust nature of the CF Express Card Type B, which is found in the R5. It gives me just much more manageability with files, higher file and frame rate capabilities, and it's just more robust. I'm not worried about breaking it like I am SD card. I'd much rather have a CF Express Card Type B, which will be found on the C400, along with the SDXC card slot as well for sub-file management. So my wish list in a nutshell was a full frame camera that could offer 6K, that could still deliver high frame rates or creative frame rates, which the C400 can do. I wanted something that took CF Express Card Type B, it had a better form factor, and it's all under the $10,000 price point. Now I know there's cameras on the market today that will blow the C400, the C70 out of the water, but they're typically going to be a lot more expensive, and they're in some cases going to require more of a crew. I work as a one-man person most of the times when I'm filming weddings or narratives or documentary work or ads, and it's just me on set. On occasion, there are smaller sets where I work with a team, but typically that team doesn't exceed more than 4 people, and usually that team is someone dealing with sound, someone dealing with light. I don't have a first or second AC, so I want a camera system that's going to allow me as an individual user to utilize that camera and its full capabilities. C400, the C70, they offer autofocus, they offer individual user management on a wide variety of scales. So that usability, that individual user feature was a big factor and a big consideration as well. Everyone said, oh, what about the C70 Mark II? The C400 is a C70 Mark II. One thing I would have loved to see would have been IBIS, especially with that camera body getting a little bigger. I don't know exactly what goes into creating IBIS. Again, I'm not a technical person, but having that would have been great, especially for documentary and narrative type work when I'm running and gunning and I don't have to use an easy rig or a gimbal. It's not a game changer, and I'm sure there was some reasons that went into that. And of course, if it made the camera body go up by another $1,500, I'm fine without IBIS, it's fine. So I'm looking forward to utilizing the C400 as my A camera and the C70 as my B camera moving forward for my video production efforts and creative storytelling techniques. So if you're excited for this camera, I'd love to hear it in the comments. If you're got some doubts, I'd love to hear that as well. Have an open discussion on this camera. If you're new to this channel, my name is Alexander Jawfox. I do a lot of camera work. I've been running a camera business for the past 7 years, doing both photography and videography, and more recently gaffing and editing services as well. I'm not a huge YouTuber. I'm just an average guy that likes to get on camera sometimes and talk my experience, and I talk about my car sometime too. Consider giving me a sub. If you like this video, consider a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.